Hi, welcome to the very first episode of ID Friday. My name is Dave, and in each episode I'll be showing a new tool, technique, or general instructional idea that I've been using. Today I want to show you TWINE, an interactive story maker. It lets you make case studies or workplace scenarios respond to the student's answers and choices. Here's how it works. The student is presented with a small part of a scenario and decides what action to take. Just a hyperlink that takes them to another page, which has another part of the story and another set of options. The first one I made started as a set of 14 multiple choice questions with one piece of feedback for each question. It took several hours to rewrite the questions into a narrative while learning to use the creation website TWINE.org for the first time. It then took me another 3 hours to figure out the coding used for variables and if-then-else statements. There is some good documentation and wikis available, but some interpretation is needed and a little bit of programming experience helps. Next step was to get Sean and Dan, the CSS and accessibility experts, involved to make sure it was going to be usable in our LMS. Once that was done and some basic imagery added, we talked through some possible enhancements. Using video or audio instead of the text came up straight away. Before experimenting with the tool, I had some fairly clear aims that I wanted to meet by using TWINE as an activity. First was increasing learner motivation through interest. Even though it's still a series of multiple choice questions, it is presented quite differently. Second was try to make it more personal through everyday language and writing, as well as making it about them. And increasing relevancy and interest by using a workplace setting that also demonstrated consequences. So if the student got 3 wrong answers, they're told that they have lost their virtual job and they need to start again. There were some risks and disadvantages to using this tool as well though. The first is the extra time it takes to craft and test the story. I think I did about 2 hours worth of testing while I was developing it, and I'm not 100% sure that it's going to work through every branch that the student could take. So when under time pressure, the story and usability can suffer. I also knew it was a risk that it might not work technically inside the LMS, or maybe it wouldn't meet accessibility standards. So the first time I tried to keep it relatively simple. And lastly, I think overuse or poorly executed use of this tool could lead to frustration, and eventually the students would skip even the good ones. So that's it for episode 1 of ID Friday. To end on a positive note, I'll say that the website is free, not watermarked, and reasonably documented. So if you haven't seen this tool, or you tried TWINE version 1, give twinery.org a go.